How's it, guys? This is Dayvy FPL and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now this video we're going to be going over only the team selection and my transfer thoughts, as we did do the Game Week 12 review last week. It was the international break these past 2 weeks, so I hope you guys have had an absolutely stupendous FPL break. Hopefully you spent it with your family or even pondering wildcard moves and free transfer moves in these past 2 weeks. Hopefully it hasn't made you too crazy about FPL, but I certainly have enjoyed this break and are raring to go for Game Week 13. So hopefully you are as well. If you did not watch the review, you can go and take a look. It's going to be down in the description below, but otherwise a quick reminder, we got 70 points above the average of 46, and I can't believe that we are still within the top 50k, especially after that -8 hit to bring Jamie Vardy in. But that's enough about Game Week 12. This video is going to be all about Game Week 13, so let's get right into it. We have had our first sponsorship on the Dayvy FPL channel, so thanks a lot to OneFootball. OneFootball is a footballing app that gives you live notifications of the games that you're following, so it makes the perfect FPL companion app, and I've been using it for a couple of years now, and that's why I was happy to do a sponsorship with them as I use the product. So down below there's a link for all you need to know about OneFootball. You can go download the app on iOS or Android. It's completely free, so no commission or anything here, so you don't have to worry about that, but I use it, so should you. So as you can see on screen, this is my current lineup for Game Week 13 and how my team is setting out. There are a couple of transfer options that I am considering, and the one disclaimer I wanted to just make note of is that I am recording this on Monday night, so Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson are both confirmed out right now, but I don't think that's going to be quite like this come that Game Week 13 deadline. So please pay attention to those press conferences coming up on Thursday and Friday. We're probably going to be seeing the likes of Jurgen Klopp saying that Salah and Robertson are perfectly fine and they just needed a little bit of a break to kind of nullify those ankle injuries that both of the players are carrying. But we have seen a lot of injuries this international break. Whether they are true or not is yet to be seen, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a reminder there and just take FPL's warning signs with a little bit of a pinch of salt. So the likes of Lascelles are definitely out, but we're going to be talking about what transfer options to do if I was to transfer him out. But the team setting out right now is Matt Ryan against Leicester at home. I don't really know what to think about this one, as I am kind of backing Leicester to score. I am owning the likes of Jamie Vardy and Matt Ryan, so playing the odds a little bit here, and hopefully if Vardy does not score, Matt Ryan ends up getting the clean sheet there, but I don't think that's going to be likely. So hopefully Matt Ryan is kept very busy against Leicester, so we're going to have a lot of save points in our FPL team come that Game Week 13 conclusion. So Matt Ryan has been quite good with the save points recently, so I am holding thumbs for that one, as I do expect Leicester to win. Then in the rest of the defense, we have the likes of Andy Robertson. I already said that he was yellow flagged right now. Is carrying a little bit of a knock. Apparently he wasn't able to train much pre-international break, so hopefully that has concluded and he's got the treatment he requires. But Andy Robertson against Crystal Palace away, this should be a clean sheet for Liverpool. We saw the likes of Crystal Palace be quite nullified against Chelsea last game week, so I am expecting the same against Liverpool, and hopefully we can finally have a Liverpool clean sheet in the bank. And Robertson also has that attacking potential always, so hopefully maybe even a cheeky goal now or next game week. So then we have Lundstrom against Manchester United at home. Sheffield United have been very tough to break down defensively, and I'm expecting the same setup for them against United. It is a top 6 clash, so Sheffield United should be up for this game, especially because they have just come up from the championship. So playing one of the big boys is always exciting for one of the promoted teams, and I am expecting Sheffield United to do quite well, like they did against Spurs. So hopefully Lundstrom can even get an attacking return here. As you all know, he is playing out of position, so I am holding thumbs on that one. Then we have Nathan Ake against Wolves at home. I do think that this is going to be quite a tough game for Nathan Ake to keep the clean sheet, with the likes of Raul Jimenez performing so well. I'm kind of just playing Ake as I don't really have another bench player to play instead of him, and I do think that Bournemouth have been quite good defensively. A lot of people were kind of saying that the defense isn't that great at the start of the season, but 3 consecutive clean sheets, I think maybe just 2, and then last game week they didn't manage to keep one, but I do think that there is potential here, and with Nathan Ake's attacking threat threat is always off those set pieces, so maybe you can even get one of those. Then we have Soyuncu against Brighton away. I do think that Brighton at home have been quite good attacking wise, so I think that I am kind of holding thumbs here, but I do think if the likes of Leicester could keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, they should be keeping one against Brighton. So I'm expecting quite big things from the Leicester defense, and hopefully I'm not let down. Moving on to the midfield, I'm going to start off with Mason Mount against Man City and talk about him with the likes of Tammy Abraham. In the preview, I did discuss the likes of benching the Chelsea options, but first of all, I simply don't have the bench to do that, and secondly, I do think that Chelsea will score in this one, and I got to back Mount or Abraham to get on the end of some FPL points, so they'll definitely be starting in my team. I don't think I'll be captaining them or vice-captaining them, but I do think they're worth kind of taking the punt and playing them, and Chelsea are very attacking wise, and Man City's defense hasn't been as sure it's been in previous seasons, so I do think that both teams will score in this one. Then with Mohamed Salah, I'm hoping that he manages to recover from his ankle injury. He's been carrying this injury for quite a while with the likes of Andy Robertson, kind of the same injury, so I'm hoping that this is kind of the game week where he's put it behind him and he'll be raring to go for the next couple. As with this December period kind of fastly approaching, we're going to need him being fit and ready to play 2 game weeks in a week or something like that. That's quite ridiculous, the schedule over Christmas, but I think that Liverpool should be winning this game. Crystal Palace have been quite poor defensively recently. They don't ship too many goals, but they do definitely against the big boys kind of ship 1 or 2. I do think this game will probably end about 2-0, so I've got to back Salah to get on the end of one of those games, but as I said, waiting for that press conference, and hopefully Salah is raring to go and not injured. Then we go on to the likes of De Bruyne and Sterling. I do think that Man City will win this game, and I do think that they'll score quite a couple, so I'm backing Sterling with the captaincy right now. Man City, they've got to do well in these next couple games, kind of put the pressure back on Liverpool as they letting that gap extend quite a bit, so they're going to be wanting to win these games, and I'm hoping that Pep Guardiola kind of riles them up and gets them some fire under their belly, especially because it is a home fixture. I do think that they should put a couple past Chelsea, and that's why Sterling is my captain. Going on to the bench, we have Button against Leicester, won't be playing unless Ryan is injured. Then we have Lascelles, who's injured and confirmed out till the new year. We'll be talking about some transfer options shortly, but otherwise you have Cantwell, one I'm quite worried about. As I said in the stream before the Game Week 12 deadline, I did think that Hernandez was going to come in and Cantwell was going to lose his place. I don't know how long it's going to be for, but I think right now Hernandez is probably looking like a little bit of a better player than Cantwell, so I'm hoping that Cantwell can win his place back, as I think that his price is going to drop quite drastically as soon as people kind of realize that he has lost that spot. Then with Greenwood, doesn't seem to be coming off that many more minutes than about 12 or 15, so he'll probably be on my bench most game weeks. But let's go into some of the transfer options I'm thinking about, especially for the likes of Lascelles. So as you can see on screen, I've highlighted my transfer thoughts. I've highlighted quite a lot of players because I'm going to be talking about my ideas for the next couple game weeks. So with Matt Ryan, he does have some very tough fixtures. So I am looking to bring in Henderson from Sheffield United. Obviously not this game week, as Henderson is kind of banned from playing due to Manchester United being his parent club, and he is on loan at Sheffield United. So I'm looking to double up on that Sheffield United defense. I could opt for Henderson or Baldock. Baldock comes in a little bit cheap at 4.5, so I may opt for him. But with Henderson, I think that he's always going to be offering those save points, and with even Baldock, those clean sheet points should be coming in, especially because of how good Sheffield United's fixtures are looking. Then other options I could look for Lascelles are players like Gilbert, Rico or Janmaat, even the likes of Kelly. I'm just monitoring the situation with Ward. He is injured right now, and if he is injured for quite a while, I'm looking at Kelly, as Crystal Palace do have some very nice fixtures coming up, so he could be an option, especially at 4.1 million. But otherwise, the Aston Villa, Bournemouth and Watford defenders are always good options. I think with Aston Villa, they do have some tough fixtures coming up, but if I have to opt for playing a defender, if the likes of Mohamed Salah or Andy Robertson are out, and I definitely need a player off the bench, I'll be looking at the Aston Villa defender, as they do have quite a nice fixture, but the next 2 after that aren't that great. Otherwise, Rico, just kind of a set and forget option. He'll probably be on my bench most game weeks, but I'm kind of put off doubling up on that Bournemouth defense. Whereas with Janmaat, Watford have seen a little bit of a resurgence. I don't think that much defensively, but Janmaat is definitely getting forward. I think that Watford's playing style now is a back 5, so he's almost playing like a wing back, and I think that's definitely going to equal FPL points in the upcoming games. Moving on to midfield, we do have Pulisic and Maddison. If I was to transfer maybe Salah out or Sterling out, I'd be looking at one of these two boys. You could also look for Mason Mount to Pulisic, but I think that's a little bit of a sideways move, so I don't think I'll be making that move this game week unless Pulisic goes and scores a hat-trick and I need to bring him in. But otherwise with Maddison, I think it's a nice compliment to Jamie Vardy, doubling up on that Leicester attack. They do have the fixtures to back them up, and Maddison has been in great form, scoring quite a couple goals and getting quite a few assists, so definitely looks like one for the future. Moving on to the attack and our strikers, we have Raul Jimenez and Danny Ings. So there's been a lot of talk about Raul Jimenez and the form that he's been in, and with Wolves' fixtures are looking quite good, so you definitely should maybe be looking at bringing him in. I think I might be able to hold off right now as I am still playing quite a lot of my defenders, but if I was to ship funds and maybe transfer Greenwood out to Jimenez, it's kind of been seen that that's kind of been the formation shift where lots of managers have been using a 3 up front. The other option you could look for is Danny Ings. He does have quite a tough fixture coming up, but after that they do have a nice run of green, and if you're playing the likes of Watford and Norwich, that usually equals FPL points, as those two defenses are quite shoddy. So Danny Ings looks like you could take a little bit of a punt on him. He is quite cheap at 6 million, so almost worth that little bit of a differential. But these are kind of the transfer options that I'm looking at for this next couple game week. I spoke about the likes of probably having to bring in Gilbert for Lascelles if I do need him playing. Otherwise I'd look at the likes of Kelly or probably Janmat as just almost a bench player that I can bring on every now and again. But otherwise I'm not going to be probably making any big moves. I spoke about in the preview that we will be probably using the wildcard around game week 18, so stay tuned for that, and if any kind of transfers do occur, I'll be updating you guys on Twitter at Dayvy FPL, so please go follow me there. It's going to be probably the second link in the description after the OneFootball. So talking about OneFootball, you can go download that app if you want to. I'd use the app myself, so I can recommend it. And otherwise, please like the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new or have not subscribed yet. I'm Dayvy FPL, and I hope you guys have a great game week 13, and we all get about 2 billion points and are first of the world at the end of it. I'm going to be signing off. This has been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.